Hey guys, so in today's video we are going to look at how to construct a parabola. Okay, the first thing we need to do is we need to set up a rectangle, okay, with the parabola that the parabola will fit into. Okay, so in this case we're going to take the question that was done in class, and the rectangle that we're going to draw, so the overall height of the parabola is 145 millimeters. So I'm going to measure my 145 millimeters there. It's 145 high and it is 115 millimeters wide. So just over to there. So we can construct the rest of that rectangle. So our entire parabola is going to fit inside this rectangle. What we need to do now is we need to find the axis. So the axis is like this center of the parabola. So if you can imagine your curve here, the axis kind of runs directly up the middle. Okay, and what we do to find that is we just need to get half the distance of this line. So I'm just going to divide the line with the compass. Project that one up. So there is my axis, and I'm just going to make sure that it touches right at the very top. So here is my axis, okay? I have it drawn in as like a center line because that's exactly what it is. We also need to find the vertex. Now the vertex is the point at which the parabola changes direction, so it goes from a rise to a fall, or if it was at the bottom it would be from a fall to a rise. So it's where it kind of turns that corner. Okay, in this case the vertex is right up here. So the vertex is always like the highest or the widest point of the parabola. Okay. It is the turning point. What we need to do now is we need to start bisecting some lines, okay? What I'm going to do first is I'm going to divide up the side. I'm going to divide it into a number of equal parts. So to do that we take our random line out. Okay, that line can be at any angle and it can be any length. We take a compass and we set the compass to a random distance. I'm just going to use the distance between, or the width of my index finger basically. And I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions. It doesn't matter how many you do here. Okay, I'm going to do 4, sometimes I do 3. The more you put in, the more accurate it's going to be. But the more time consuming it will be as well. So 3 or 4 is generally a good number. What we do then is we join the fourth point, in this case, back up to the top corner, and we use sliding set squares to bring the other 3 points to the vertical edge of the rectangle. Okay, so these are all parallel to one another. What we do then is we join these 3 points back up to the vertex. So up to the vertex they go, one by one. Just like that. What we need to do then is we need to divide the half of the base into the same amount of equal parts. So what I'm going to do, instead of bringing a random line out from the middle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out from the axis so that we don't get mixed up and bring the line the whole way across. Okay, so I'm going to start from the axis and work back towards the left hand side. Again, a random line out, any angle, any length, and again we can take our compass, which we can set to any distance, and again I'm just going to set it to about the distance of my index finger. And we need to make sure that we put the same number of divisions as we have here. So in this case we have 4. So along the bottom line here I'm also going to do 4 divisions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, we're going to join 4 back, this time to the bottom corner, to the bottom left corner, because we're working on the left hand side, and we're using our sliding set squares again to transfer down 4 points to the left hand side of the base. Now we're going to take our t-square. So on the side we join all these points back up to the vertex. This time we're simply going to project them parallel to the axis, so they're just going to come straight up. We're going to bring them the whole way up to the top of the box, okay, to the top of that rectangle. Now we have one more step before we can actually draw in the curve, is we want to identify the different points. So we're going to start down at the bottom here. This is going to be point 1, okay, the vertex is going to be another point. What I like to do to find each of my points is work my way up along the edge until I get to my first division, and then follow that division diagonally across to my first vertical line. That's going to be 1 point on my parabola. I'm going to go up along that line then to the next division and work my way across one more. That's going to be my second point, and I'm just going to continue that with whatever amount of points I have until I get to the vertex. So I'm going to go up and over and up and over, and I'm at the vertex. That's how I know that I have that's how I know that I've got the correct points there, that I haven't got anything mixed up. The last thing we need to do then is to draw in our curve. Now for this, I do like to use my 2H pencil to try and get that curve drawn first before I kind of outline it heavy. So I'm going to use my 2H pencil. I'm just going to freehand in that curve. Like that. And I can probably make some improvements to that. Just like so. And once I'm happy with it, then I can take my outliner or my H pencil and I'm going to go over that line. Try and keep the line nice and consistent. Right, just one continuous line as opposed to going this up and down. Okay, it's a lot neater than this kind of scribbly line that people do. Try and get one consistent line. Alright, even if you get to one point, move your arm a bit, go to the next point, and so on. One tip to try and get your curve nice and neat is as you're drawing, keep an eye, so from when I'm starting down here, keep an eye on this point. Okay, and I'm looking at that point as I'm drawing. Once I get to this point, then I'm going to start looking at this point. And I keep looking at this point until I have got drawn up as far as it. And so on till you get to the vertex. Okay. Once you get that done, you just repeat the process on the other side, and you're going to get your the other half of your parabola. So just to show you that this also works with 3 divisions instead of 4. Okay, it works with any number of divisions. It doesn't matter at all how many you do. And again, I'm just going to plot all my points. So starting at the bottom, remember again we're going up 1 across 1 division, up 1 across 1 division, up 1 across 1 division, and you should end up at the vertex. Again, we take the pencil, we're going to join it all the way down. A little bit more tricky to draw it down the way than to draw up. Okay, that's fairly good. So again, I'm just going to take my outliner. I'm going to go over that last half. And there we have it. Gone a little bit messy there at the bottom, but if once you're doing it in a pencil, you can actually rub that out again and neaten it up if you need to. Okay, that is how we draw a parabola, just a standalone. Okay, and we can use that method when it comes to questions that involve a parabola also. One major thing is to remember to keep your construction lines nice and light, because it's possibly going to be in the middle of a bigger drawing. So there's going to be a lot of lines as it is. We want to try and keep it as light and as neat as possible until it comes to the actual outline itself.